buttermilk crispy chicken? Let's find out.
It's probably the best sandwich I've ever had.
It's super crispy, but it's also really juicy.
So would you guys come back? Yeah,
of course,
definitely. Well, here's our card. The location is on the back. It's McDonald's? What? What?
Oh, get out
No way.
Wait, seriously?
Try some buttermilk crispy chicken. It's right around the corner at McDonald's. Buttermilk.
Hello, welcome to this week's edition of Ask the Coach here on WCLU. Sports Director Joe Myers, joined this morning, as always, by Glasgow head football coach Jeff Garman to get us started this morning on Ask the Coach. Scotty's suffered a tough defeat last night at the hands of the Monroe County Falcons. Monroe leaving Hank Roy Stadium last night with a 32-28 win, a district win, which puts Monroe County in charge of the district race as they go now to 2-0 in the district and 5-3 overall. Scotty's fall to 500 in the district and overall at 4-4 on the season, 1-1 in district play. And Jeff, the first words out of your mouth in the post-game conference or post-game talk with me last night was you just thought it was a heck of a good high school football game.
Well, it was. I mean, both teams I thought played pretty well. I thought our kids played well. I know they played hard, and there were some mistakes made out there last night, and we battled and battled and battled and. We had the football down on the 6-yard line with 2 plays maybe left to play, and we just come up a little bit short.
You mentioned last night that, so many games that you've played this year, of the ones that you've lost, the 4 games you lost, with 3 of them, you've been right there. So in a way, it's encouraging that your young team has been able to be right there and have a chance to win literally every game you've played. In a way, I know it's a little frustrating, too, because you haven't quite been able to get over the hump in some of those games. Yeah,
it is, and, as a coach, all I can do is try to get the boys play hard every week, and I think they have played hard, and thought we had a good plan of how to attack them, and we just come up a little bit short. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, I like, I saw a lot of good things out there. Thought a lot of people played well, and just so proud of their effort.
Watching that game last night, it was obvious we had trouble stopping their Wildcat formation, and you'd mentioned that it was something that you all had not seen on film at all. They had not run the Wildcat this year, at least in the games that you had watched, and certainly it gave us trouble last night.
Yeah, and it's not rocket science. I mean, they were going to a look where either they were going to run a jet sweep or the quarterback was going to fake the jet and run up inside. Did pretty well with that. The one that gave us the problems is, if you're familiar with the Wildcat, they call it like Dozier, where they put 3 guys. You got a guard, tackle, tight end, then you got 3 backs sitting over there, and it gets about as simple as you can get it. You snap it back there to the quarterback, and he just runs to the right. And it's a numbers game, and you got to honor that backside because they can still run counter out of that, and they did multiple times. But we made some good plays out of that. That really didn't hurt us. It's just they just kind of mauled us over there on that strong side, and got out on the corner there a couple times. But when they were running their regular offense, we had a lot of success against what they were going to do, and it just got to be just a numbers game and a strength game at that point in time, but it didn't take away from our boys' effort, and they kept playing, and we still made plays there at the end to get ourselves back in a position and to go ahead, and also a chance to win there at the end. Just came up a little bit short.
You called timeout on a couple different series when they were using that Wildcat formation and hurting us with it, and I'm sure it was a focal point for you guys at halftime too, Jeff. What were you talking to your team about as far as trying to slow that Wildcat down? What adjustments were you guys trying to make?
Well, we sent some different people and some different angles, but a lot of that time I was just calling timeout for us to have a chance to catch our breath and kind of slow the game down a little bit there and take away a little bit of momentum that they had gained on some big runs at certain times in the ball game. But overall, I thought our kids played hard, and I thought we had a lot of good performances from a lot of kids.
their leading rusher was Jordan Phillips on the year. He'd rushed for a little over 400 yards on the season. And other than one run of 48 yards, you guys did a good job against him. They actually didn't use him a whole lot, only rushed him 4 times. But Ty Mink is the kid that hurt you with the Wildcat. And the Mink kid's a good athlete. He's a good football player, good basketball player, good baseball player. And as you said, when he's got the blockers in front of him, he just gave us trouble. He rounds up with 127 yards on 25 carries.
Yeah, and like I said, it was something I'm sure that they had been working on, to something they could go to, and there's nothing that they had done. They had played the Meek kid at quarterback one game before against North Hardin when Arnett didn't play, and ran their same offense with him playing, but it was a good move on Coach Pettit's part, and they found something that they could go to and be successful with, but at that point in time they had to go to something, because we basically just shut them completely down at that point in time.
Yeah, your defense did do some good things last night, Jeff. Certainly, you forced 3 turnovers in the game. Had a big pick 6 for Josiah Moore, who took it back 50 yards for a touchdown. Josiah also had a fumble recovery on the night, and so certainly, even though the Wildcat hurt you, the defense did have some moments where they played very well.
Yeah, and it wasn't like, it was always a crucial play on third down or something. We would have them right there ready to stop them and give them credit, and they'd make a play on third down when we got to try to get off the field. And it was a hard-fought game. I mean, both teams, I thought, really played hard and fought hard, as a Scotty, I was awful proud of our performance tonight. Seems like these Monroe County games the last 2 years have come down to the last play of the game, and last year, we were all jumping up and down and happy, and this year it was Monroe County, but both teams I thought played good ball games tonight.
It's always a really emotional game when these two teams get together on the football field too, isn't it, Jeff?
Yeah, and with the district, with them moving back into our district, it puts a little bit more into the game. And, like I told those boys, there wasn't no need to shed no tears after the night. There was, tears shed out there after the game. And I told those boys we still got a lot to play for, and because ultimately in the end, this was just a pride game. We've got to go take care of business next week with Metcalfe County, and we'll have our hands full there, and we've got to try to find a way to come up with that 2 seed, because if you finished 1 or 2, you were going to get a home playoff game, and then you got another home playoff game if you got the 1 seed, but. The 2. If you finish second, you're going to go on the road, but you're either going to be facing Louisville DeSales, or you're going to be facing Christian Academy, and both of them are powerhouses right now in AA football. So that's kind of a wash. Who you're going to go play in the playoffs and things like that.
As far as we are concerned, offensively, Desi Austin winds up throwing for 171 yards, completed 14 of 25 passes, had a touchdown, no interceptions, but he was under a lot of pressure, Jeff, and that pressure seemed to affect him. Did they just kind of beat us up front a little bit last night, you think?
Apparently they did. I haven't had a chance to watch the tape yet, but apparently, Desi was getting pressured, and it may have been a combination of him getting the ball out of his hand, and it may have been a combination of us not being able to block him up front. But either way it goes, it's something we got to continue to work at and try to improve on, and just try to keep getting better. And that's one thing that I think we have to. The wins and losses take care of themselves. I mean, but as a coach, you try to go out and improve every day. And I think our ball club has improved as the years went on.
You look at your running game tonight, Jeff, and again, Kyle Nixon has another good game for you. A couple back-to-back good games for the sophomore now. 14 carries, 82 yards. So had a long carry of 44 yards on the nights, and certainly maybe as we talked about in the pregame, maybe that run game is going to start to be a little bit more consistent for you as the season winds down here.
I thought Kyle had some nice runs, and then there were times that they kind of just shut the run down. But some of those plays are out there, and we've got to be a little more consistent on offense and try to move the ball a little bit better and try to get some more first downs. And, the game was you know, you go down the scorecard, it's an even game all the way down through there. You know, the disappointing thing is we create 3 turnovers. Should have had the 4th turnover. We dropped an interception, hit us right in our hands too. But we've got to capitalize on those turnovers and get points and just try to do something when our defense does make those turnovers. It's a tough pill to swallow when you create 3 turnovers and you don't turn the ball over and don't capitalize on that and don't come out on the winning end.
We'll come back in just a moment, continue with head coach Jeff Garman. We're back after this on WCLU Sports.